Good afternoon, traders. It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2020, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Yeah, today could have been April Fool's Day. Um, it was pretty wild. Believe it or not, we made a lot of money today, but it just has a bitter taste in my mouth, and I will kind of explain what happened here. Yesterday we had this fabulous run. What was it, 1,400 points or something like that in the Dow, and we had gotten into, I believe, 28 positions. We really had a loaded deck, and I told you, if that thing went south this morning, we were dead. But we could make a lot of money if it took off. Well, if we got my much wished for gap up here, the Dow opened up over 800 points. At some point here on this first bar, it was up uh, over 900 points. Perfect open for us. And if you can believe this, we had open trade equity of $12,000 to $13,000 on the close here with those 28 positions. I was scared to death because $12,000 to $13,000 isn't a lot of money for carrying 28 positions. However, when this thing opened up this morning, and I have a screenshot of this, or we'll put it up on the website, that equity jumped to over 130,000. So from here to here, we saw our equity go from 13,000 to over 130,000. And man, I thought, this is unbelievable. This is that bull market I was talking about yesterday. Well, okay, nothing, trading isn't perfect. And what happened is the profit takers jumped on this and started selling. And so we got out of most of those positions right about here. And those profits were cut in half in that process. We ended up taking out just over $63,000. Okay, I'm still, I can't. How can I complain about going from 13,000 to 63,000? I better not complain too loud. But the fact is, I saw $70,000 go down the toilet in less than 45 minutes here, and that was a little hard to take. We had we ended up with two carryovers that we're still hanging on to, but we got out of everything else. And as I say, we got out with over $63,000 in profit. This is a horrible pattern for entries, and we ended up getting into 13, actually 11 new positions and two holdovers. And of those 13 positions, only 4 ended up positive, 9 are negative, and we're carrying negative $8,500 going into tomorrow. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. And, and on top of it all, this is almost, we ended up on this sell-off with the Dow going from positive 900 points to negative 26. It closes on its low at negative 26. We ended up getting into TVIX and UVXY, which is like a short position on these stocks. The last thing I want to be, I'm a bull and I don't want to be short those things. But regardless, if this thing should tank tomorrow, we're going to make money on it. I guess that's a nice thing about the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't listen to my opinions. It just does what it's supposed to do. But anyway, we're actually short the stock market this evening. But both those positions, the TVX and UVXY, they are negative. They're not positive right now, so they're not going to get positive unless the thing gaps down. Um, we'll just see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Who the hell knows what happens? This is the stock market, the insane stock market. Okay, you would think out of all these positions and all, making over $63,000, I should have a whole bunch of stuff to show you. Yeah, I really don't. It all just looks bad. I'll show you one example here. This is SAVE, SAVE, which is Spirit Airlines. Yesterday, we bought this thing on this spike. A horrible place to buy it yesterday. It ended up closing significantly against us. Looked like a terrible trade. And then on this big gap up this morning, this thing goes up into the stratosphere. And of course, that keeps us in the trade. If we'd gotten out of this at our normal position, we would have made some good money on this. But we're hanging on to this, and then we're getting stopped out down here. So what does that mean? It means we were up to $5,000 or $6,000 profit on this trade up here, but when we're stopped out down here, it goes to negative 500. So nice big profit goes to a small loss, and this pattern was repeated in quite a few of our stocks, and I'm not going to show them all to you. In fact, I'm only going to show you two because I don't like looking at this. As I say, a big profitable day, but I don't like looking at the trades because of these patterns. This is W, just one letter W. It's Wayfair Incorporated. And we bought this yesterday. It actually did close profitably yesterday. And then it gaps up here this morning. Now, I know that on this chart, this doesn't look like a big move. It's because the chart is distorted by this huge gap that it gapped up yesterday, and we bought the gap, but we're still making pretty good money on this. On this exit that you see right there, we made $8,500, $8,500 in Wayfair, but on that open this morning, we were up to $12,000 on this. So we saw this stock, which I think it was our biggest trade out of the whole bunch, slip from 12,000 to 8,500 in 30 minutes here. And this pattern just repeated itself with everything, and that's why we saw $132,000 on the open go down to $63,000 when we finally got out of this. Still within the first hour, but those were a critical 30 minutes, and they did not go our way. Hey, I can't complain, and I just want you to know I haven't changed my mind at all about this bull market. But, it can be crazy, and it is crazy, and it was really crazy today, and this happened. We're still way up from where we were 2 days ago, or 2 trading days ago. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? If I was reading this chart, I'd say Dow's going to open down, and of course, if it does that, we'll make money on those TVIX and UVXY positions. But if it opens up, we'll lose money on that. But my prediction about a bull market will look a little more credible if that happens. So I'm going to win either way. I'm not complaining about $63,000 in profit. Hey, this is Trader Bob signing off. See you tomorrow on Wednesday.